Hi friends, today I am going to discuss main method in Java. As we all know that main method is the starting point for any Java program. It's like the engine that kicks everything into motion when you press the run button. That is, whenever we start a Java program, the starting point is from main method. The base method is main method. Through that main method only all the methods are being accessible. So without the main method your program simply won't start. No magic, no output, nothing. So why it is always public static void main of string argument types? Let's see. Public. Public means it is accessible from anywhere to call by JVM. If it is private, we can't call that method from outside of our class. So we keep it as public to call from anywhere by the JVM. Why it is static? Static belongs to the class, we all know that. So JVM no need to create any object to call main method. It can directly call that main method using the class name. No need of creation of any object. So why it is void? Void in the sense there is no return type. That is doesn't return any value to JVM. Our main method doesn't return any value to JVM. JVM doesn't expect any value from our main method. Why it is main? This is a name configured inside the JVM. If they configure another name, then we can keep another name. But main is the name which is being configured inside the JVM, so we have to follow that particular name only. And string args are the command line arguments passed to the program at the runtime. And although above syntax is very strict, we can perform the following changes. First one, instead of public static, we can keep static public. That is, the order of modifiers not important. I will explain modifiers in my future videos, but here we see public and static are the modifiers in Java. So the order is not important. We can keep public static or we can keep static public. Next, we can declare string array in any acceptable form like method name, string brackets, space args, or the brackets before the args or brackets after the args. This we saw in our arrays class. So these three are correct syntaxes. So we'll go for next point. We can use vararg parameters to represent string array. As I explained about vararg parameters in my previous video, we can keep vararg parameters after the data types, before the identifier name, and in between the data type and identifier. So we can write main method like these also. These all are acceptable in main method. Next point. Instead of args, we can take any valid identifier in Java. In my first video, I have explained what is identifier, what are the rules to write an identifier. So we can take any valid identifier instead of args here. We can take anything. And overloading of main method is possible. You may or may not know about overloading, but I will explain in my future videos. Let's see what is overloading means. The method name is same, but inside the arguments is different. Maybe data type is different, or number of parameters are different, or the order of parameters are different, but the method name is same. Those methods are called overloaded methods. So here main method is being overloaded by changing the data type. Here the data type is string array and here int. So it is possible to overload a main method, but by default JVM called string array type main method only. So main method with string args only called by the JVM. We have to call this method explicitly. Only the standard signature used by the JVM to start the program, but the overloaded versions can be called manually. We can also declare main method with following modifiers. These are also modifiers. Static is a modifier, synchronized is a modifier, final is a modifier, strict FP is a modifier, and public is also a modifier. So the longest possible representation of a main method is static synchronized final strict FP public void main of string args. The order of the modifiers may change. We can keep public first and static last, or synchronized first or final last. We can change the order of modifiers, but it is the longest representation of main method. It is valid representation of a main method. So you have to remember this. And before there is an exception, the code blocks execute before the main method in our Java. So those are static blocks. After all static blocks are executed, the JVM then calls the main method to begin the program execution. Before the execution of main method, all the static blocks are being executed. You may don't know what are static blocks, but I will explain static and instance blocks in my future videos. So we'll see what is static block. Static block is represented using the keyword static, and the block is being written like this. So all the static blocks are executed before the main method. So this is a main method and the above is a static block. Whenever we compile and run this program, static block executed before the main, this will print first and then main method executed. The output of the program is static block executed before main and main method is executed. This we have to remember. And we'll go for exercise now. Please pause the video and answer the questions. First question. Why is the main method in Java declared as public? Options. To restrict its access within the package? No. To make it accessible only to child classes? No. To allow the JVM to access it from anywhere? Yeah, it is true. Option C is correct. Second question. Which of the following main method signatures is valid and can be used by the JVM to start a Java program? Static public void main. I told that the order of modifiers may vary, public static or static public, so it is valid. And variable argument parameters also allowed in main method, so second also valid. And public static void main string args, so this is also valid. All the above is the correct option. Next, which of the following is not true about the main method? It must always be declared as public static void main for the JVM to start the program. He is asking for not true. First option is true. The name of the string array parameter can be changed to any valid identifier. Yeah, it's true. We can write any valid identifier instead of args. Third one. The main method can be overloaded, but the JVM only calls a standard signature. Yeah, the overloading of the main method is possible, but JVM always calls the standard signature, that is string args. Yeah, third one also true. The modifiers public and static must appear in a fixed order. No, we can change the order of modifiers. So option D is false. Fourth, what happens if the main method is declared with a return type other than void? Actually, it is not acceptable. It should be always void. JVM doesn't expect anything from our main method, so it will not compile. It raises a compile time error. Fifth question. Which of the following declarations is valid for the main method in Java? Static synchronized final strict FP public void main string args. Yeah, it's valid. Public static final strict FP void main. It is also valid. Final public static strict FP void main. It is also valid. So all the above are valid. So option D is correct option. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos.